Right now, in 2026, the Social Security Administration has the legal authority to stop your monthly check without warning, without a phone call, and in some cases without giving you a chance to fix the problem before the first missed payment hits your bank account. If you are 65 or older and collecting Social Security, there are 5 specific triggers that can freeze or withhold your payment. And the rule changes the SSA put into effect starting in 2025 made each of these triggers faster to activate and harder to reverse than they have ever been before. The average Social Security retirement benefit right now is $1,976 a month. That is not extra income for most people over 65. That is rent, that is medication, that is groceries. Missing even one payment can start a chain reaction that takes weeks to undo. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which of these 5 triggers applies to your situation, what action step stops each one, and for one of them, I am going to give you a specific form number and a 30-day window that most people miss entirely. The rules around Social Security payments change faster than most people expect. The SSA does not send you a personal notification when a new rule takes effect that changes your risk of suspension. What I do on this channel is track these rule changes in real time and explain exactly what they mean for people collecting benefits right now. The people who are subscribed find out in time to act. The ones who are not subscribed tend to find out after they open their bank app on a Wednesday morning and see 0 where their deposit should have been. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's get into it. Number 1. The identity verification rule that went into effect in April 2025 and is still catching people off guard today. Starting April 14th, 2025, the SSA eliminated the ability to verify your identity over the phone for certain transactions. If you need to apply for retirement benefits, change your direct deposit information, or access survivors or auxiliary benefits, and you cannot use the online My Social Security portal at ssa.gov, you must now appear in person at a field office. Here is what most people don't know about this rule. If your identity cannot be verified before your claim or your banking change is processed, your payment does not go out. It holds. And the SSA is not waiting for you to figure out that something is wrong. The hold starts the moment their system flags the transaction. Picture this. You switch banks. You call 1-800-772-1213 to update your direct deposit information the way you have always done. The agent tells you they cannot process that change over the phone anymore. You are told you need to come into an office. You drive to your nearest office, only to find the next available appointment is 3 weeks out. Your payment date arrives during that gap. Nothing shows up. You call again. You wait on hold for 2 hours. Nobody told you any of this was going to happen. The fix is to go to ssa.gov and create a My Social Security account before you need to make any changes. If you already have one, log in and verify that your banking information on file is current. If you do not have online access and need to make a change, call 1-800-772-1213 and schedule an in-person appointment before the change becomes urgent. Do not wait until your bank closes an account. Number 2, the earnings test that can wipe out an entire month of benefits if you earn $1 too much. If you claim Social Security before your full retirement age, which is 67 for anyone born in 1960 or later, and you are still working, you are subject to what the SSA calls the retirement earnings test. In 2026, if you earn more than $24,480 for the year while under full retirement age, the SSA withholds $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above that threshold. What most people don't know is how the SSA collects this. They do not take a little out of every check. They suspend entire monthly payments, one at a time, until they have collected the full withheld amount. That means you can earn $26,000 in a year, only $1,520 over the limit, and lose your January and February Social Security deposits entirely. Here is the scenario almost nobody pictures. You retire at 64. You collect Social Security. In March, a former employer calls and asks if you can consult part-time for 3 months. You say yes. By June, you have earned $27,500 for the year. You do not realize you have crossed the $24,480 line. In January of the following year, you notice your deposits stopped. You call the SSA. They explain that based on your reported earnings, they are withholding payments. You had no idea this was happening. The action step here is simple, but almost nobody does it proactively. If you are under 67 and collecting Social Security and you earn any income from work, go to ssa.gov and use the earnings test calculator. You can run your own numbers. If you are close to the $24,480 line, notify the SSA before you cross it. They can help you project whether any payments will be withheld and when. You can also call 1-800-772-1213 to speak with a benefits counselor directly. The withheld benefits do come back to you after full retirement age, but that does not help you pay rent in February. Number 3. The overpayment rule that can take 100% of your check and has been reinstated as of March 2025. This is one that the system created and then punishes you for. Social Security overpayments happen when the SSA pays you more than you were entitled to, sometimes because of their own processing errors, sometimes because of a life change you were supposed to report but were never clearly told about. As of March 27, 2025, the SSA reinstated a policy that allows them to withhold 100% of your monthly Social Security check to recover an overpayment. That is your entire payment, gone, until the debt is paid off. What most people don't know is that this is often entirely the agency's fault, a calculation error on their end, a delayed processing of a change you reported, a misapplication of a rule. The SSA makes the mistake, sends you the money, and then years later sends you a letter demanding it back by taking your whole check. Here is the scenario. You are 69. You have been collecting $1,850 a month for 4 years. You get a letter in the mail that says you were overpaid by $3,200 due to a benefits calculation adjustment. The letter says collection will begin in 30 days. You call the number on the letter. You are told they will begin withholding your entire check next month. You have 30 days to respond. The critical action step here has 2 parts, and the deadline is 30 days from the date on the overpayment notice. First, if you believe you were not at fault for the overpayment, file Form SSA 632BK. That is the request for waiver of overpayment recovery. If the overpayment is $2,000 or less, you can request a waiver by phone without filing the full form. Call 1-800-772-1213 and initiate that request immediately. Second, if you believe the overpayment amount is wrong, file Form SSA 561, which is the request for reconsideration. Filing either of these forms within 30 days pauses the collection. If you do nothing, the withholding starts automatically. Almost nobody knows there is a formal form that can stop the clock. Number 4. The direct deposit fraud freeze that no one warns you about when you switch banks. The SSA processes over $100 million in fraudulent direct deposit changes every year. To combat this, the agency implemented new account verification protocols in 2025. Here is what that means for you. If you change your direct deposit banking information and the new account cannot be instantly verified through the SSA's account verification service, your payment can be held while the change is reviewed. What most people don't know is that changing banks at the wrong time relative to your payment date can create a gap where your old account is closed, the payment bounces back to the Treasury, and you have to wait 30 to 60 days to receive a reissued payment. Here is the specific scenario. You open a new checking account in late June. You log into My Social Security online and update your direct deposit. Your payment date is the 3rd Wednesday of the month, July 16th. The new account does not pass instant verification. The payment is held. Your old account was already closed. The money bounces back to the Treasury. You call the SSA on July 17th. They tell you a reissued payment can take 30 to 60 days. The prevention step is simple. Never close your old bank account until you have confirmed at least one successful deposit into the new account. When you make a direct deposit change online through My Social Security, you will receive a confirmation. Wait for that confirmation deposit to land before closing the previous account. If your bank account is being closed involuntarily, account frozen, bank shutting down, call 1-800-772-1213 immediately and explain the situation. Ask for emergency payment reissuance. Most people do not know that option exists. Stay for number 5 because this is the one rule that most people aged 62 to 66 are violating right now without knowing it. And fixing it takes one phone call to the SSA and can prevent months of withheld payments. Number 5. The unreported life change that quietly makes you ineligible without a single notification from the SSA. The Social Security Administration requires you to report certain life changes: marriage, divorce, a spouse's death, moving to a new address, starting or stopping work, changes in living arrangements if you receive SSI. The SSA does not remind you of this requirement when your circumstances change. They do not check in. They wait. And when they conduct a review, called a redetermination, and discover an unreported change, they can determine retroactively that you were overpaid, trigger the overpayment clawback in number 3, and flag your account for suspension, all from a change you may not have realized you needed to report. What most people don't know is that the SSA conducts these redeterminations periodically. They do not announce them. You simply get a letter asking for information. If you do not respond within the deadline stated in the letter, your benefits are suspended. The letter typically gives you 30 days. Many people miss these letters because they have moved and not updated their mailing address with the SSA, which itself is one of the reportable changes. Here is the moment that trips people up. You move in with your adult child in 2024. You do not think to tell the SSA because you are still collecting the same benefit from the same job history. 2 years later, you receive a redetermination notice at your old address. You never see it. Your benefits are suspended. You call the SSA and they say the notice was sent months ago. The action step here takes less than 10 minutes. Go to ssa.gov/myaccount and log into your My Social Security account. Confirm that your current mailing address and contact information is accurate. Then review the list of reportable changes on ssa.gov to make sure nothing in your life over the past 2 years should have been reported. If something should have been reported and wasn't, contact the SSA before they contact you. Proactively reporting a change almost always results in a better outcome than being caught in a redetermination. Call 1-800-772-1213 or visit ssa.gov to submit changes in writing. Let me run through everything we covered. 1. The in-person identity verification rule that went into effect April 14, 2025, now requires a field office visit or online verification through My Social Security to change your direct deposit or apply for retirement and survivor's benefits. You cannot do this by phone anymore. 2. The retirement earnings test withholds benefits dollar for dollar if you earn over $24,480 in 2026 while under full retirement age. The SSA withholds entire monthly payments, not partial amounts. 3. The 100% overpayment withholding rule reinstated March 27, 2025, can take your entire check. File Form SSA 632BK or Form SSA 561 within 30 days of receiving an overpayment notice to stop collection while your case is reviewed. 4. Changing your direct deposit banking information without confirming the new account is verified before closing the old one can cause a 30 to 60-day payment gap that the SSA is under no obligation to expedite. 5. The SSA requires you to report life changes, marriage, divorce, address changes, work changes, and conducts redeterminations without notice. A missed letter at an outdated address can lead to suspension. Confirm your address on file today at ssa.gov/myaccount. Share this video with any parent, neighbor, sibling, or friend who is 62 or older and collecting Social Security, especially if they have changed banks, moved, started working part-time, or received any letter from the SSA in the last 90 days that they have not fully responded to. One conversation right now can prevent a 30 to 60-day gap in the income they are counting on. Subscribe, share this with someone 62 or older who is collecting Social Security. I will see you in the next one.